What is going on, swim fans? Welcome to the pre-show, day one of the U.S. Olympic Trials in Omaha, Nebraska. My name is Faris Sabeti, CEO of MySwimPro, and in today's World Swim News, we're going to break down what is about to happen. Day one, final session, wave number 2, U.S. Olympic Trials. So to catch everyone up on what's been going on, we had wave 1, June 4 through June 7. Now this is the ultimate selection for the United States Olympic team. The top 2 swimmers in every single event will be selected to represent the United States of America in Tokyo, Japan at the Olympic Games. The Olympic Games starts on July 24th, 2021. The opening ceremony is July 23. Today, we have a few events in the final session, kicking off with the men's 400 individual medley. We're going to have the men's version of that event. It's the finals. We have the qualifying this morning. The competition begins in about 30 minutes. All the information is linked down below in the description, so very, very exciting. After the 400 individual medley, looks like we have the semifinal of the women's 100 meter butterfly. Then we have the final of the men's 400 meter freestyle. Then the final of the women's 400 individual medley. And we're going to close things out for the evening with the men's semifinal of the 100 meter breaststroke. So there's a lot of fast swimming that we have to check out for today in this video. We're in this live stream. Forgive me. We're actually going to go through event by event. I'm going to recap what happened in the prelims. We're going to talk about what we think is going to happen here in the final session. The last event of the morning session was Michael Andrew breaking the American record in the 100 meter breaststroke. He went 58.19. That is absolutely flying, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So the first event to kick things off here is the men's 400 meter individual medley. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, but before I do, actually, let's play a hype video that USA Swimming put together, because I think it's too good not to show it. Here we go. Let's check out what USA Swimming is all about at these Olympic trials. They say the U.S. Olympic Trials is the fastest swimming competition in the world. Nothing is as competitive as the U.S. Trials. Let's go ahead and check out what it's all about. Now that we got the intro out of the way, I'm so excited to present to you guys wave number 2, day number 1 before the final session of the U.S. Olympic Trials, Omaha, Nebraska. Let's go ahead and kick things off here with... So I want to go ahead and show you guys something right here. So I'm looking at Omega results, and you guys can see this link down below in the description. So we have this morning we had the men's 400 IM heats, the women's 100 fly, the men's 400 free, the women's 400 medley individual, and then the men's 100 meter breaststroke. And so it's a lot going on, but we're going to break it down event by event. Let me go ahead and add my picture in here. Sorry guys, there we are. I think that's good for you guys to see. Excellent. So let's go ahead and look at the first event. So this is the 400 individual medley, and as you can see, the world record here was set by Michael Phelps in 2008 at the Beijing Olympics at a 403 point, up there it is, now you guys can see, 403.84, and you can see the splits that he did, 54.9 on the fly, then he was a 156 at the 200 mark. Very fast. When we compare the top few qualifiers here, so to refresh everyone's memory, in 2016, not Carson Foster, but Chase Kalish and Jay Litherland were the top 2 swimmers. I actually have the results from that event. This is the 2016 Olympic trials that I just pulled up. As you can see, Ryan Lochte qualified third. He finished third in the final, and he did not make the Olympic team. Remember, only the top 2 swimmers make the Olympic team. and Ryan Lochte was not able to do that. So in the last 2016, it was Chase Kalish and Jay Litherland, and they went a 4:09 and 4:11 respectively. And when we look at the results here from the morning, we have a newcomer. So I really think it's going to be a battle between these three swimmers. It could go to anyone, but you got to be in the top two to qualify into the finals. So, anything can happen at the Olympic trials. These swimmers are in different positions. Maybe Chase Kalish feels pretty confident. Him and his coach, Bob Bowman, who is also Michael Phelps' coach for the last 20 years. Maybe they knew that he would be in such a great position that they only have to rest enough so that he can go maybe 4:08, 4:09, and that's all it's going to take to make the team. Jay Litherland, he's been there sub 4:10. So if all of these guys go under 4:10, it's going to be a tight battle. And I think they're going to change positions. You look at someone like Carson Foster. He was out in a 1:58 at the 200 mark, and these guys were all out over 2 minutes. So, we're going to see Carson Foster most likely take out the 400 IM with a lead, and maybe he's going to have enough to hang on. But that Chase Kalish is going to run him down on the breaststroke. I mean, look at that. He split a 1:09 here on the breaststroke compared to a 1:11. So he outsplit Carson Foster by 2 seconds in the prelims. And when we put this all together and we look at the start lists, they're going to be in the lanes next to each other. We're going to have Carson Foster in lane 4. In lane 5 is going to be Chase Kalish, and then Jay Litherland. I really think this first event is going to come down to the middle of the pool, and these guys are going to battle. I think Carson Foster is going to be way out in the lead at the 200 mark. If he goes out, too slow, he's going to be run down anyway by Chase Kalish at the back half. So if Chase Kalish is even with Carson Foster, or if Chase Kalish is in the lead at the 200 mark, he is going to obliterate the competition. He's going to win by over a body length. And again, top 2 make the final. So we'll see what happens. That's the first event. Let's go ahead and get over to the next event. The next event, I believe, is the women's 100-meter butterfly. So Kelsey Dahlia is up there, top qualifying time from the heats. She was a 56.5. You look at the world record, 55.4, Sarah Hoistrom. If you guys haven't already seen the video analysis I've done on Sarah Hoistrom's 55 butterfly, you guys make sure you check that out on the MySwimPro YouTube channel. It's a good one. But then also, when you look at, the newcomers, right? We have experience, which is Kelsey Dahlia, but then you have some newcomers. Look at these. Tori Husky, born in 2002. She's not even 20 years old. How about Claire Curzan, born in 2004? I mean, wow. I used to have a car that was 2003. It makes me feel old, right? But, I mean, take a look at that. You have a 10-year age difference, and are they going to be in lanes next to each other? Let's take a look at the start list for this event. Well, actually, this was the results from the 2016 Olympics. So Dana Vollmer has since retired. Kelsey Whirl in the semifinals was able to go 57.1, and I don't think that's going to be good enough to be in the second position this time around. But let's go back to where's the wave? There it is. So this morning results, you remember top 8 make the final after the semifinal. So tonight we're going to have 2 heats of the women's 100 butterfly. Then we're going to move into the final, which is actually going to be tomorrow. So I do have some race footage. Let's go ahead and watch some race footage, because I think you guys are going to enjoy that. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the women's 100 fly. Here we go. So there we have, this is the women's 100 butterfly from the preliminary session, and I'm not sure which heat this is. We'll see it at the next heat. But one of the things that's interesting about the hundreds in the Olympic trials is the fact that you have to set yourself up every single race, meaning if you go too slow in the prelims, you won't make the semifinal. If you go too slow in the semifinal, you won't make the final. And so you have to exert, if you're experienced, you have to exert just enough energy to position yourself well. And Aaron Pearsall in the 2009 World Championships, he was, he should have won, I believe it was the 200 backstroke, or the 100 backstroke, and he didn't qualify out of the semifinal. He went too slow in the prelims. He didn't even make it in. and I think he was like 18th or 20th or something, and he would have won the event. So it just goes to show how important it is to make the semifinal, and there's so much pressure. Just like at the Olympic Games, you have to go fast enough in the prelims and the semis to get into the final. You know, we saw Michael Andrew go so fast in the morning. He doesn't have to go any faster tonight to make the final. He could even go slower and he'd be fine. So we might see him get slower. We might see him try and go 57 tonight. Who knows? But anyway, we got the 100 butterfly. It looks like this is, here we go. So the girl in lane number 4 from this morning's in Heat 8, she was born in 2004. So 16 years of age or 17 years of age. We have a lot of young guns. So I think in this 100 butterfly, it's going to come down to the experience of Kelsey Dahlia against the new up-and-comers. I mean, it's really remarkable to see someone born in 1994 and then see someone else born in a decade later. Let's go ahead and skip through here to the actual race. There we go. So this is the morning Heat 8. The girl in lane 4 was born in 2004. Look at those underwater dolphin kicks. Very good. So the final session starts in about 17 minutes. This is the pre-show, so we're just getting hyped up. The broadcast in the United States is on NBC, so you guys can watch that in real time live on television, or you can stream it on your computer. If you guys are outside of the United States, there are a number of services out there that you can do that. You can pay for a subscription to stream it. And I mean, she went out in a 26.2. I mean, young and has opening speed, working that underwater. That's absolutely remarkable. So really cool to see the young up-and-comers. And, you know, you might say that the women's team for the USA is stronger than the men's team right now, but I wouldn't agree with that. I think it's cyclical. I think you're going to see men step up out of nowhere. You're going to see women come out of nowhere. And in 4 years from now, you might say the reverse of that. You might say the men's team is much stronger, the women's team is not. I mean, the United States won 33 Olympic medals in 2016 in Rio, and just in swimming. I mean, the United States in swimming is better than most countries across all sports in terms of medal count. And even if you take out Michael Phelps, it's still hard to argue against the power of the United States swimming. So it's pretty amazing to see such young swimmers dominate. Let's go ahead and look at the results again. So after the women's 100 butterfly, we've got Kelsey Dahlia. Let me know in the comments who you guys think is gonna win these events and advance to the next session. Let's go ahead and look back at the results. So this is the women's 100 fly, and if we look at the start list, that's the start list for the 400 IM. Here we go. This is the start list for the women's 100 butterfly. So like I mentioned, there's actually going to be 2 heats. So that's why you see 2 heats. There's a semifinal 1 and semifinal number 2. And it looks like Kelsey Dahlia, the top seed, is going to be in the second semifinal. And she's going to be 2 young guns born in 2001, 2002. And then in the earlier heat, these young guns are going to be right there next to each other. So very exciting to see the new up-and-comers challenge the more experienced veterans in the field. And then after, let's see what the next event is. So it looks like after the 100 butterfly semis, we have the men's 400 freestyle final. So when we look at the prelims results, Kieran Smith, 348. You know, I don't want to sound too boring, but you know, when I was watching the 400 freestyle, it was hard to get too excited about any of these swims. You know, I'm hopeful that one of these guys will step up and perform big. It took a sub 350 to get into the final, but to be quite frank, none of these times will be close to medaling at the Olympics. So if any of these guys, first of all, you have to make the Olympic team. So the top 2 are going to make the Olympics in this event. However, if these guys want to be serious medal contenders, they're going to have to dip under 345. I don't know how much faster it's going to be. Is it going to be 342, 343, 344? But they're all going to have to drop a considerable amount of time. Now, it is possible. It is a 400. So if you drop, 0.5 or if you drop 0.25 per 50 meters, you're going to end up dropping 2 seconds. Is 2 seconds enough? No, I don't think so. But that might be all you need to qualify for the Olympic team here at the trials. So let's go ahead and look at what the results were back in 2016. This is for the fly. Up here's okay. So in 2016, a lot faster times came in the final session. I mean, Connor Yeager was able to drop a 3:43.79 in the finals of this event, qualifying for the Olympic team. Connor Dwyer, 3:44. So if you remember looking at those results from the morning, the fastest was 3:48. 3:49 was everyone. So will we see 3:43 or 3:44? I'm not sure. I certainly hope so if any of these guys are going to have a chance at making a medal. Now, of course, they can go faster in a month from now at the Olympics in Tokyo, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and see if I have any race footage of the 400 freestyle from the morning of the men's, and it looks like I do. Here we go. Excellent. So this is the 400 freestyle, and when you're doing the 400 freestyle, it's really like 4 100s. You got to break it out. Some people think about it as like a negative split, the first 200 versus the second 200. If you watch, this event is all about Katie Ledecky. At the end of the day, she is so much faster than everyone. We'll have a chance later in the competition to see Katie Ledecky in this specific event. But for the guys, I mean, you think about what some of the best in the world have been able to do this event. You think about Ian Thorpe, he went 3:40.0, and then you had Paul Biederman go 3:40.07 or something. He beat it by 100th of a second or whatever it was. And then everyone criticized, well, he was wearing a tech suit, the polyurethane super suit, whatever. But even then, it's been over a decade now, and no one's really come that close to these world record times. I really want to see someone go 3:39 in the 400 freestyle. Are we going to see it at this specific competition in the United States? Probably not. Will we see it at the Olympic Games in Tokyo? Potentially. We might see some of these guys really step up, or even some international competitors come in outside the United States. But at the end of the day, we really haven't seen that much progress. I don't want to sound so negative, but we really haven't seen so much progress in this event as compared to some other events. And also on the women's side, we've seen dramatic progress with swimmers like Katie Ledecky, who has even really taken the entire swimming field to the next level. So that's exciting to see. Will we see it tonight in the men's? They were out 1:52. I think they're going to be out a lot faster than that. Maybe we'll see someone go out in a 1:50 tonight. That would be pretty special. But it is a final. There's no semifinal in the 400. Thank God. Can you imagine swimming the 400 free or the 400 IM 3 times in 2 days? Whew! Even the great Michael Phelps wouldn't want to do that, right? Even the toughest swimmers in the world, they don't want to do that. So it's great to see it only do, that. So, okay, we got about 10 minutes left, so I want to make sure I get through all the events. This is the 400 freestyle, and then after the 400 freestyle for the men, we're going to have the 400 individual medley on the women's side. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up what the preliminary results look like from that event. So let me go ahead and flip over the screen. So right now I'm looking at the women's preliminary of the 400 individual medley. Same thing here. We saw Haley Flickener go 4:37 in the morning. There was a battle. I think a number of these swimmers, Melanie Margalis was swimming pretty much on her own. So we'll see how much more she has in the tank. Similar to the 400 free, it's only prelim final. There's no semifinal. So whoever is able to go top 2, they're the ones who are going to make the Olympic team. It's interesting to look at what the world record is. Katinka Hosu of Hungary going a 4:26.3 from the Olympics in 2016 Rio. Are we going to see any of these swimmers touch that? No, I don't think so. Are we going to see any of these swimmers approach the American record or even U.S. Open record by Katie Hoff or Katinka Hosu? I don't think so, actually. Again, I don't want to sound too negative here, but we will see some of these swimmers really pop out something special. Will it be in this event? Not sure. It's tough because this is the first day of competition, so some of these swimmers, a lot of these swimmers are swimming a lot of other events. It's not like where you had, Michael Phelps, 400 IM was arguably his best event. And so when he kicked off the meet and he would go so fast, you knew the rest of the meet was going to be amazing for him. We'll see how that pans out for some of these swimmers. They have a lot of other events lined up for the rest of the week. Not sure we'll see anything spectacular here, but I do think we're going to have a pretty good race, especially when you look at how these swimmers split the race so differently. For example, Haley Flickinger here, she was going out at the 200 mark in a 2:12.0. The rest of the field, I mean, it's not even close. Look, 2:17, 2:14, 2:15. So to have over a 2-second lead just on the front half, if she is able to maintain that kind of a lead here, it's going to be tough for anyone to run her down. On the flip side, if she is not winning by, several seconds, then she's going to get run down by some of these other swimmers. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and what the swimmers go on the first half. It will be very interesting. Let's go ahead and see if I have any race footage of the women's 400 IM. And would you look at that? Yes, I do. This is the 400 individual medley from the morning session. And, it's a tough, brutal race. There's, people argue that the 400 individual medley long course is the hardest event in swimming. And I would agree with that. I've done the 400 IM. It's pretty tough. These swimmers, you've got to put together 4 really strong 100s. You can't slack off. You can't have a bad stroke. Even in the 200 IM, you really can't have a bad stroke at this level. Everyone is world class in every single discipline. In the 100 individual medley, you can sort of get away with it. You don't have to be world class in every single event, and you can be pretty darn good. You look at someone like a Caleb Dressel, who is he is the best in the world in fly and free. You could argue his backstroke is probably right there as well, and his breaststroke, but he's still significantly faster than everyone in the 100 IM. In the 400 individual medley, you really have to be able to put it all together. Fly, back, breast, free. There's no such thing as a bad stroke. All of these swimmers have 4 very solid strokes. And they also say that the 400 individual medley, it's like training for the 200 of each stroke. So 200 fly, 200 back, 200 breast. That is very, very difficult. So let's go ahead and get on to the last event. This is the Pista la Resistance. We have Michael Andrew in the 100 breaststroke. So let's get out of this and look at Michael Andrew here. So this morning, he went an American record with a 58.19, absolutely flying. This is amazing. We're going to see this event at the end of the session. It is a semifinal. So we were talking about in another video that, these guys don't actually have to go any faster, and they're going to make the semifinal. If they can just go the same speed, Andrew Wilson, Nick Fink, these guys looked very, very smooth in the morning. I think they're all going to qualify no problem. Let's go ahead and watch Michael Andrew break the U.S. Open and American record in the 100 breast. This is 58.19. Let's go ahead and watch it right here. He's in lane 4. He's in the middle of the pool. I mean, he was able to control the race from start to finish. He pulled away from everyone right off the bat at 25 meters in. He was way, way, way ahead of everyone. And here we go. He's right in the middle of the pool. Keep an eye on him. He just crushed everyone. So this is the final event of this session that we're going to watch him. So make sure you watch until the very end because you don't want to miss it. And there he is, just right off the bat. I mean, absolutely crushing everyone. It's pretty remarkable to watch. It looks like as if we're watching Adam Peaty swim this event. The difference is Adam Peaty, builds his speed compared to everyone else across the entire race. Michael Andrew, start to finish, he commanded this race. Even at the 15-meter mark, he was ahead of everyone. He went out in 27.05. I think it's going to be really, really special if he can go 57. If not tonight, by tomorrow night. He has a lot of other events coming up, so I really think energy management is going to be really important because it actually doesn't make a difference if he goes 57 or 59 today as long as he gets into the final, which is tomorrow, because you can be super fast in the prelim and the semifinal, and if you don't make the top 2, it doesn't mean anything. It's the harsh reality. It doesn't matter how fast your time is. It matters what your place is. This is all about racing. And, top 2 make the Olympic team. Top 2 get to swim on that relay. The secondary swimmer will probably swim in the prelims. And then the fastest swimmer will be in the final on the 4x1 medley relay. So we want to see these swimmers ideally get actually faster on every single race. So when we have an event like the 100 breaststroke, prelim, semifinal, final, we want to see the swimmer actually get faster on every single race. We don't want to see the swimmer get slower. or, so we wouldn't want to see him go 58.1, then 58.5, then 58.8. Even if he made the Olympic team with a 58.8, we don't want to see that. We want to see some swimmer know how to control their energy and know how to manage their own speed, because if they get slower, that means they, spun their wheels, ran out of gas, and they're not managing their energy efficiently enough. So that's why it's really important that we want to see. I actually have a few more heats of the men's 100 breaststroke. Let's go ahead and watch those. We have just a few minutes left until the actual event kicks off on NBC. Linked in the description of this video, you'll be able to watch and watch all the live results that I've been showing through Omega Live Timing. It's really cool to actually look at these results and see how everyone's swimming. This is who's swimming in this heat. Looks like, okay, this is one of the earlier heats. We're going to skip through. This is Michael Andrews' heat. We just saw that. Look at Reese Whitley, Andrew Wilson, and Nick Fink. This was heat number 7 from the morning. Some of these guys are going to be in the semifinal. Let's go ahead and skip to where they dive in. Here they are. So Nick Fink in the middle of the pool, that white cap, Andrew Wilson. These guys were really smooth. I wouldn't be surprised if they go faster in the semifinal and really put some pressure on Michael Andrew for the final. We also want Cody Miller to get into that final. So he's ranked 11th. You got to be top 8 in the semifinal to advance to tomorrow's final. So, there's a lot at stake in the Olympic trials, especially some of these guys who do breaststroke. They don't swim any other events. Really, the 100 breaststroke is their best chance to make the Olympic team. Maybe they're swimming the 200 breasts, but we've got a whole different group of swimmers that are in the 200 breaststroke, and we really want to see these swimmers put it together in the final and progress their technique, their speed, their opening speed on each of these swims. And look at that. They look smooth, 58.8 and 59 low. We'd like to see more guys in that 58 territory. That's what it's going to take now at the top of the world if you want to do anything. And I think we have a few guys that are set up to be able to do that. So that's going to be really exciting. We have just a couple of minutes until the actual event kicks off. So you guys can make sure you click in the link in the description where we have NBC broadcast. You can watch it live on TV if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, there are a few other service providers that you can actually watch the live. But join me after this session, and immediately I'm going to have race recaps. I'm going to have race footage after the final session within a few minutes. So as soon as the 100 breaststroke is complete, we're going to have a post show. So in just a couple of minutes, we're going to get the event started. Wave number 2 of the U.S. Olympic Trials, day number 1, final session. We have the finals and the semifinals. Make sure you guys come back at the end of this session, and we're going to do some race recaps, race analysis. Hopefully we get to see some more records get broken. I might do a separate video just for that. And thanks again for tuning in with me on this session. And I wish you guys the very best. I can't wait to see you guys after the session, and I'll catch you guys at the next live. We'll see you later.